I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
What is going on? Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Midday Muscle. By this time next week, there will be a whole bunch of eyeballs glued on the Texas Pro, and I'm guessing a good chunk of the people attending live in person or streaming, if they're doing that, will be tuning in to see what Andrew Jack is bringing to the table for his big showdown with Hunter Labrada. We all saw what Hunter did in Tampa, and you know that he'll be coming in here riding that huge wave of momentum from what might have been the most impressive outing we've seen from him all year long, outside of what Samson Dowda did at the Arnold Classic. But to Andrew's credit, these preliminary shots that we've seen from his team inside the gym are as good as anything we saw from Hunter in his run up to the Tampa Pro. And just based on what we saw at the Olympia last year, at the very least, you gotta figure that these two are basically neck and neck right now. So, if Andrew's conditioning isn't quite on par with what we saw from Hunter last weekend, there is a very real possibility that he winds up having to settle for second place. Also, looks like there's a lot of excitement around Carlos Thomas finally making his pro debut in Texas next weekend as well. For the most part, I think there's been a good deal of buzz surrounding Carlos since he won his pro card NPC Nationals back in 2021. But when he did that guest posing a few weeks ago, we all got our first real look at where his physique is for the first time in almost 2 years. The hype train really started to pick up some steam then. With that being said, given the amount of depth we're expecting to see in this show, I'm not sure what a reasonable expectation is in terms of his placing. Because he's definitely not going to go the Justin Shear route and win this thing in his first time out. But he does have enough in the tank to be in the mix for the top 5 if his conditioning is right. And if he can use a show with this magnitude as a feeler to get his feet wet, then who knows what can happen if he goes back to the drawing board and makes a few adjustments before jumping into another event at some point down the line. And we've also got a brand new update for you today from Iain Valliere after he released a sneak peek from his latest check-in at 14 weeks out from making his next Olympia appearance. Beyond the fact that he's in ridiculous shape already, which is pretty much par for the course with him at this point, also looks like he might have added a little bit of tissue since he won at the Toronto Pro a few months ago, which is wild when you consider how lean he is for the majority of the contest season. Now with all this being said, given what we've seen from Hunter Labrada's and the Andrew Jacks of the world already this year, it feels like trying to break into that top 6 group could be a major task. And getting over that 7th place hump has been a key focus of his for the better part of the last 18 months. Right now, the guys in that 6 to 11 range in the Open are so evenly matched, it's like splitting hairs for the judges. But if he can get a few things to break in his direction, it probably wouldn't take much for him to move up a spot or two into that top tier. We've also got an interesting update for you today from a name we haven't heard in a minute, Moh Foda, following the announcement from his team that he's in the early stages of his first contest prep of the season. According to sources close to Foda's camp, he just had his most productive offseason ever, and his body weight is currently floating somewhere close to 265. Pretty impressive if those numbers are true, given where his conditioning is right now. But, and we're only guessing here, I think fans need to see something from Moh this season, because we've been hearing for years from the KO squad down there in Egypt that he's going to be the next big thing. But so far, the sample size and results just haven't been there for us to know if they're right. To his credit, he did place in the top 5 at his pro debut back in 2021 while he was dealing with a major injury. So he definitely has some ability. But the question about his ceiling is still a giant unknown that a lot of bodybuilding fans would like to see get answered. And that will do it for another Midday Muscle. Get the heck out of here. Got a whole day still, maybe if it's posted early.